Are you still stuck doing things that no longer serve you after 55? What if I told you that there are habits you've been holding on to for years that are actually wasting your precious time? It's easy to fall into routines and mindsets that don't really add value as we get older. But what if you could free up that time for the things that actually matter? In today's video, we're uncovering 6 things that many people waste time on after 55, habits that are holding you back without you even realizing it. And more importantly, we'll talk about what you should focus on instead to create a happier, more fulfilling life. So, if you're ready to stop wasting time and start living your best life, let's dive right in. Segment 1. Chasing perfection. One of the biggest time wasters after 55 is the constant drive to make everything perfect. Whether it's fine-tuning your hobbies, obsessing over home maintenance, or even trying to organize every corner of your life, this pursuit of perfection can drain your time and energy. And the thing is, perfection is often a moving target. It's something that, no matter how hard you try, you'll never truly achieve, and that can leave you feeling frustrated and, more importantly, missing out on the moments that really matter. Let me tell you about Marsha, a friend of mine who was always trying to perfect every aspect of her home. She'd spend hours rearranging her living room furniture, even though it already looked beautiful, or painting and repainting her kitchen cabinets, convinced they could be a shade lighter. Marsha would put off things she actually enjoyed, like taking a walk in the park or reading a book, just so she could get that one spot on the wall just right. She was so caught up in the details that she didn't realize she was missing out on real moments of joy. It wasn't until Marsha took a step back one weekend and saw her friends and family enjoying a simple meal together, laughing and living in the moment, that she realized how much time she'd spent trying to control everything. She was focusing on things that didn't add real value to her life, things that were just distractions from what she truly wanted to experience: connection, happiness, and peace of mind. That was a wake-up call for her. So, what's the solution? It's time to embrace imperfection. Instead of obsessing over the smallest details that don't actually matter, let go of the need to control everything. You don't need the perfect garden, the perfect outfit, or the perfect living room. Instead, focus on enjoying the little things. The conversations, the walks in the park, the time spent with loved ones. Imperfection can be beautiful, and more importantly, it can bring a sense of freedom that perfection simply can't. Life isn't about making everything flawless, it's about enjoying the moments as they are. Segment 2. Holding on to old friendships. As we age, it's natural to have long-standing friendships, but sometimes holding on to these relationships can actually be a waste of time and energy, especially when those friendships no longer serve your well-being. We may feel obligated to keep them alive simply because of history or nostalgia, but in reality, some friendships can drain our energy, hold us back, or even prevent us from growing into the people we're meant to be in our later years. Take my friend Tom, for example. He had a friend, Dave, whom he'd known since childhood. Over the years, though, their friendship had become strained. Dave was constantly negative, complaining about everything from his job to his family, and he often belittled Tom's successes. Tom, however, felt an obligation to keep the friendship going. "We've been friends forever," he would tell himself. "I can't just walk away." But as Tom continued to invest time in this toxic friendship, he noticed he was always feeling drained, anxious, and emotionally exhausted after seeing Dave. It wasn't the kind of energy Tom needed in his life, especially as he entered his 60s and wanted to focus on things that made him happy. One day, after yet another draining conversation with Dave, Tom made the decision to distance himself. It wasn't easy. He felt guilty and worried about what people would think. But once he took that step, he realized just how much lighter and freer he felt. Soon after, Tom began connecting with a new group of friends who shared his interests, supported his goals, and brought positivity into his life. The more time he spent with them, the more he realized that he had been holding on to something that was only holding him back. So what's the solution? It's simple. Prioritize relationships that bring positivity into your life. You don't have to feel guilty about outgrowing friendships. People change, and sometimes that means letting go of relationships that no longer serve your well-being. It's about surrounding yourself with those who lift you up, who encourage your growth, and who bring joy into your days. As you get older, the quality of your friendships matters more than the quantity. Life is too short to waste on relationships that don't bring you happiness.
Segment 3. Overdoing the busy work. One of the most common time wasters after 55 is overdoing what I like to call busy work. We all have tasks and chores that need to be done around the house, but some of us get caught up in endlessly organizing, cleaning, or sorting things that don't truly make a difference in the grand scheme of life. These tasks might give the illusion of productivity, but they don't contribute to your long-term happiness, health, or fulfillment. Take Janet, for example. Janet retired a few years ago and found herself spending hours every day tidying up her house, dusting every shelf, organizing her filing cabinets, rearranging her pantry. While keeping a clean home is important, Janet quickly realized that her days were consumed by these repetitive tasks, and as a result, she never seemed to have time for anything that actually nourished her mind or body. Despite the spotless house, Janet was often feeling worn out, physically and mentally drained. She had no time to take a walk, read a book, or even call a friend. Instead, she was constantly cleaning and sorting, convinced that the more she did, the more productive she was. It wasn't until a close friend pointed out that Janet was spending all her time on tasks that didn't really matter that she had an aha moment. Janet realized she had fallen into the trap of busy work, thinking that doing more was better, when in fact it was taking away from the things she truly valued, like her health and happiness. Once she let go of her obsession with perfection and focused on quality, things started to shift. Janet began setting aside time for self-care, exercising, and engaging in activities that brought her joy. Her house was still clean, but now she had the time and energy to focus on what really mattered. The solution? Focus on quality over quantity. Stop filling your days with tasks that only add to your stress or give you a false sense of productivity. Instead, invest time in activities that nourish your mind and body, whether that's reading, taking a walk, doing yoga, or spending time with loved ones. The key to a fulfilling life isn't about keeping your home spotless or crossing off endless to-do lists. It's about finding balance and taking care of yourself. Give yourself permission to slow down and enjoy life outside of the busy work.
Segment 4. Obsessing over past mistakes. As we age, it's natural to reflect on the past, but sometimes we get stuck obsessing over past mistakes or decisions we regret. We dwell on missed opportunities, the what-ifs, and wonder how things could have been different if we'd taken another path. While it's important to learn from our experiences, wasting time fixating on the past can prevent us from fully enjoying the present and moving forward with a sense of purpose. Take the story of Alan, a man in his early 70s who spent years replaying the mistakes of his youth. He would often tell me about his failed career choices, relationships that didn't work out, and opportunities he felt he'd let slip through his fingers. "If only I had taken that job in another city," he'd say. "Maybe I'd be in a better place now." Alan found himself consumed by these thoughts, and it affected his daily life. He was so focused on what he couldn't change that he missed out on the opportunities right in front of him. He passed up chances to travel with friends, start new hobbies, and connect with family because he felt stuck in the past. The weight of those regrets kept him from truly living. One day, after a heartfelt conversation with his daughter, Alan had a breakthrough. She reminded him that while the past was part of his story, it didn't have to dictate his future. The mistakes he'd made had shaped him, but they didn't define him. Alan realized that by focusing so much on what he couldn't control, he was robbing himself of the joys and experiences that could still be ahead. That was when he decided to let go of his regrets, forgive himself, and embrace the present moment. Alan began to focus on making new memories with his family, picking up hobbies he'd always been interested in, and most importantly, practicing gratitude for the life he had now. So, what's the solution? Practice self-compassion. We're all human, and we all make mistakes. The key is to learn from them, but don't let them consume you. It's important to let go of past regrets and focus on living in the present moment. The only time you have is now, so make it count. Embrace your journey and remember that you have the power to shape the life ahead of you, free from the weight of the past. Life is too precious to waste it in regret. It's time to embrace the present and look forward to what's next. Segment 5. Trying to keep up with technology. As technology continues to evolve at an incredible pace, many of us feel the pressure to stay on top of every new trend, gadget, or app. We see younger generations embracing the latest technology with ease, and sometimes it feels like we're falling behind if we don't keep up. But trying to be up to date with every new device or software can be a huge time waster, especially when it's taking away from what should be your downtime or leisure activities. Take Frank, a retired teacher in his late 60s who found himself constantly chasing after the latest tech trends. Every time a new smartphone, tablet, or app was released, Frank felt the need to learn how to use it. He'd spend hours watching tutorials, reading reviews, and downloading new apps, convinced that he needed to master them to stay relevant. The problem was, these devices and apps didn't really enhance his life. They just filled his days with more tasks and distractions. Instead of spending time reading a book, enjoying a walk, or catching up with friends, Frank was stuck trying to understand the latest social media platform or learn how to use a new gadget that he didn't even really need. One day, Frank realized that the technology he was chasing was doing nothing for his well-being. While he was busy trying to keep up with everything, he missed out on moments of joy and relaxation. That's when he decided to scale back. He stopped downloading every new app or buying the latest gadget and began using technology that truly enhanced his life, like video calls with family, listening to podcasts, and reading ebooks. By simplifying his tech use, Frank freed up more time for the things he truly enjoyed. So, what's the solution? Use technology that enhances your life, but don't feel the need to keep up with every new trend. Technology can be a wonderful tool for connecting with others, learning new things, or making life more convenient. But it shouldn't be a source of stress or distraction. Simplify your tech habits, focus on what's useful, and let go of the pressure to stay on top of everything. Life is about enjoying the present, and sometimes the best way to do that is by unplugging and savoring the moment without worrying about the latest gadget.
Segment 6. Focusing too much on appearance. As we age, many of us feel the pressure to maintain a youthful appearance, often chasing unrealistic beauty standards or trying to defy the natural process of aging. From expensive skincare routines to countless cosmetic treatments, it's easy to get caught up in trying to look younger instead of embracing the wisdom and grace that comes with age. While self-care is important, spending too much time on appearance can leave us feeling empty as we lose sight of the deeper qualities that truly matter in this stage of life. Take Linda, for example. Linda, in her early 70s, was obsessed with looking younger. She spent a small fortune on anti-aging creams, face serums, and weekly spa treatments, all in the hopes of reversing the clock. But despite her efforts, she still found herself struggling with self-doubt and a lack of confidence. It wasn't until she had a heart-to-heart with her daughter that Linda began to question her priorities. Her daughter reminded her that true beauty doesn't come from looking younger. It comes from how you feel about yourself, how you treat others, and how you live your life. Linda realized that the more she focused on her external appearance, the less she was nurturing the things that truly brought her happiness, her health, relationships, and passions. In that moment, Linda made a powerful decision. She stopped obsessing over the latest beauty trends and began focusing on her wellness instead. She prioritized exercise that made her feel strong and vibrant, enjoyed healthy, nourishing foods, and spent more time doing things that brought her joy, like painting and spending time with her grandchildren. Linda noticed that her confidence soared, not because she looked younger, but because she was healthier, happier, and more at peace with the natural process of aging. So what's the solution? Embrace aging gracefully. Prioritize wellness over vanity and focus on what truly matters, your health, happiness, and the rich experiences life has to offer. Wear your age proudly and let your confidence shine through, knowing that true beauty comes from within. Age is a privilege, and it should be celebrated, not hidden. You have earned every year, every wrinkle, and every moment of wisdom, so embrace it with pride.
Conclusion. And that's a wrap. Remember, life after 55 is about enjoying the moments, letting go of the things that don't serve you, and embracing what truly matters. Whether it's focusing on your well-being, relationships, or simply living with intention, don't waste any more time on what doesn't add value to your life. If you found this video helpful, drop a comment with either a 9 if you're ready to start focusing on what matters, or a 0 if you're just getting started. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Thanks for watching, and until next time, take care and embrace the beautiful journey of aging.